what we're going to do today, we're going to make this light up, all right? Currently, it will have what we call a festoon bulb in there, a little 12-volt festoon. And this little light is actually a starboard light. It's what you'd have on a boat, all right? You'd have one on one side of your cockpit and have one on the other side of the cockpit. On the right-hand side, you'd have your starboard, which is the green one. On the left-hand side, you'd have your port, which is the red one. And I've got a port one around here somewhere, but I can't see it. What the heck have I done with that? But anyway, I'll be doing what I'm doing with this one with the other one as well. But today we're going to do the starboard. Now, if you're wondering why it's called the port and starboard, well, in the olden days, when we didn't have rudders on ships, you had a steering board, and it was on the side of the actual boat itself, and hence that would be the steering or starboard side. Now, the thing is, you see, the other side, which would be the red light, we would call port, and that is the side of the boat you would want to put to port. Otherwise, if you did the starboard side, you'd break your rudder. Alright, it'd bust because you'd smash it against the port of where you're mooring your boat at. Alright, so you have your port and starboard lights. So, a bit useless information for you. So we're going to take this apart and we're going to install a couple of little LEDs, okay, which must be able to be powered off USB, and USB is generally around 5 volts, 4.8 for 5 volts. Now, I've got an old USB cable here. Now, this one is a little clamp connector thingy-majiggy, which was for attractive, which is basically a dog tracker. You put it on the collar, but you can tell where your dog is, right? Absolutely useless thing it was, attractive. Don't recommend them at all. But anyway, I've got this cable. And that's what I'm going to use as my power source for my light. Plus, I've got these two little LEDs. I'm going to bring on the overhead camera in a moment. These two tiny little LEDs, alright? They're both 3-volt LEDs. Now, I don't need coloured ones. I could fit coloured ones, but what's the point? It's got a coloured lens, alright? So what we're going to do is, brains pack new this thing is, it's probably quite expensive, but I'm going to mutilate it. As you do. Alright, so, 2 options. If these are 3-volt, that's 5-volt. Well, we could do it in series. Alright, let's bring on the overhead camera so you can see. There we go. Oh, look, right, come back there. Right, so these are the 2 little LEDs. Now, LEDs are literally, they're like a valve, alright? Voltage will only flow in one direction with the LEDs. Okay, so if I put my power, this is my power. Currently, it's set at 5.23 volts. Let's bring it down a bit. Alright, so I can show you on one at a time. Alright, I've got the voltage now is at... it's too high. It's quite hard to set on there. Yeah. Right, okay, that should be about right. So the voltage is currently about 2.8 volts. So if I put these on one side of the LED, nothing at all. But if I turn the LED around, it should light up. See, it lights up. Okay, that's because it's a diode, a light emitting diode, and it only allows the current to flow in one direction. In this case, it's flowing from there to there. Alright, now we can actually if we try and put 5 volts through there, likelihood that might blow. Okay, so what we've got to do is we either got to reduce the voltage somehow or increase the load. Okay, so we could do that by having 2 LEDs. So that one there is, so they're both going in the same direction. Now if I put that one, touch that on there like so, it might not light because the voltage is too low. Alright, so yeah, there's nothing there. But if I increase the voltage slightly to about 5 volts or just below, that's about almost way under, still probably too low. A bit more. Come on. I'll try that. That's 5.1 volts. There you go. And it lights. That's probably as bright as I want it to be. Right? Because I don't want it to be so bright, so overpowering. I just want to create a little coloured light. Alright? In the background using this starboard light. So let's take the cover off. No, not that one. Let's find a screwdriver so we can remove the cover. That's probably about right. Alright. My screwdriver's a little bit on the small side for that, but there you go. Don't worry about it. Let's use the sonic screwdriver. That should be it. Yep, there you go. And this in here is a festoon bulb, okay? This is going to be 12 volts. It's too high for what I want, plus it's incandescent and it's going to create a load of heat. And I don't want that either. These create no heat, pretty much. But if I show you how bright I think it is as well, it's going to be way too bright. I'm going to up the voltage to 12 volts. So I imagine it's a 12 volt. I think it's 24. Pretty certain it's 12 volt, actually. It don't matter what way round I try and light it. There you go. See, that is going to be way too bright for what I want to do. So let's clip it on there like so. Oh, it's not too bad, I suppose. But you want to give it a little bit of light. It's just blowing it out, isn't it? You know, it's just you're not getting much colour out of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove that. I don't need to do anything to this. I can just leave this in. So if I want to in the future, I can just return it to sender. Back to how it was. I'm going to reduce the voltage. So now, but I've got a regulated voltage output here, transformer, and just change the voltage back down because it's variable. You see, it does fluctuate a bit, but I don't want to blow these little LEDs. I do have a load of them. I've got a pack of them here. That it's about 50 in there. So if I put it back on there, make sure that the right way round. That is right way round. So first of all, I need to solder these together. Okay. So I'm going to tin them first. One soldering iron. I wonder if I put that in there to hold it. Oh no! Oh damn it! You know what I just done? Just put it the wrong way round again, isn't I? That's almost 5. Put it back on there. Just make sure it's the right way round still. No, I think I'd spun it round. I could mark them, couldn't I? That'd be a sort of a sensible thing to do, but that's just that way round. That's just too sensible, isn't it? Though, you know, you can't be too sensible in life. You know, sometimes you just got to be stupid, and I like being stupid. Stupid is as stupid does. A very wise man once said that. Okay, so I'm just going to solder them together. This is a silicon mat, so it should be okay. Should be, unless they're lying to me. I haven't used it yet. We better tin them first. There you go. So they should be soldered together. That cool down. Yes, they are. Okay, so I've soldered them together. Okay. So they become one unit. Hang on. Why is it metal on the back? Are they? Is it to cool them down, or are they magnetic? No, not magnetic. Look at magnets on the back, but they're not. So they've soldered quite nicely together. All right. So now it's going to be downside easier to hold them. So I can just literally just provide that down the right way round. Clip that onto there. Oh, can you see that? If I bring it up here, if I touch that with that hand, I'm making the circuit. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? I'm completing the circuit. Oh, I am. I must be like, I don't know, Fester Adams of the Adams family. So there you go. All right. So they're connected together. So what I've done is I've created one LED now of 2, and effectively these require 5 to 6 volts to light. Currently I'm using 5 volts, and that's enough just to get a little bit of glow, I imagine, behind there. Let's have a look what it looks like. It's still going to behave as a diode, so current will only flow in one direction. Let's see what that looks like. See, that looks, yeah, that's better. The other one was too bright. To be fair, this is almost as bright as that from Festoon. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. That's good. So now all I need to do is mount this in there somehow. If that's going to go on that side, I want it on one side of it, like so. But then I've got to think about this, all right? I need to get some power to it. And I'm going to be using this, well, old cable, old USB cable. So I can then take the 5 volts from the actual USB. So we're going to chop this off first. And hopefully it's a good cable in there that we can use. I'm going to keep that connected on here. Alright, just in case I ever want to use it again. I don't know what for, but just in case. You never know, do you? Well, I probably do. And at times, yeah, I've said to the missus, I want to keep that. That might be useful. Christ, I got some junk I have kicking about. I really have. So I'm just going to remove this insulation and hopefully expose the cables inside. And there'll be a positive and a negative in there. They're likely to be very thin though, okay? Which is going to make them quite difficult to solder. You've got to be quite sort of like careful with them when you're soldering them. I'm just slicing through, scoring through the outer insulation. Okay, I'm not trying to cut all the way through because I don't want to damage the wires. And it exposes, you know, they just breaks and just exposes what's underneath, and then you're able to pull it off. Now, in there'll be a black and a red. They're the two we need. We're not going to need those two. Now, providing it's wired up as I expect it to be, those two should, and I'm saying gingerly, should be alive and neutral. So we'll check that. I'll plug it into a USB and I'll check it with the meter and see what voltage it is. I should really use my strippers, shouldn't I? Instead of doing like that. So you damage your wires in it. Alright, so that's one exposed. And that should be the other. There you go. Alright, we've got these two wires. I'm going to tin them while I've got the solder. I've got it are thin, aren't they? They're really thin. I've got this little holder thing. Like that. I like that hold that while I just tin them. Some low temperature solder. Oh, I need to tin the end of my solder on as well, really. Alright, so that is... damn. Come back. That's it. Alright, so I've tinned them. Basically just put a little coating of solder onto the wires that I have. Alright. Now, I've got two little holes there. I might just use one of those. Bring the wires in. But first of all, I want to make sure it is the correct voltage. Where can I plug that into? I could plug that in over here, I suppose. Will it reach? Just about. And now I've got my meter. Okay. Oh, crikey, I'm making a mess. Right. So that's my meter. I'll just check the voltage. Let's see what voltage we have. .26 volts. So the voltage is good. Is that my little holder for my meter? Well, it's a treat that does. Right, so we have our two little LEDs somewhere. There they are. And now I need to solder these two wires onto either end of these LEDs. This is such a simple little job. Anyone could do this, couldn't they, if they want to convert something? It's not rocket science. I'm going to thread that through there, all right? And then we're going to solder those two wires on either end. All right, we don't need those two. They can get to chop them off. We don't need them. All right, and then we're going to solder those onto there. Now I can thread this right out of the way, so it's not causing me problems. All right, we put that in there like that if we want, and then I can. It's got to work out which way around it. It's got to go first, hasn't I? Oh crikey! I'm getting a bit preemptive here. All right, let's just see if it works. Right, is it the other way round? Hopefully there's enough oomph in it. There is. Right, so I know it's got to go there to there. Yeah. Yep, so that is the neutral. So I've got to solder that onto that. La 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 la. All right. Handy little holder that is. Well, it would be if it worked. I've got a bit of influence going on there with this cable. Right, I'll do it. Now I've already tinned the cable. I just need to hopefully solder that onto there. Okay, that's on there. Got a stray. There's a stray. Right. Nope, I think. Do you know what? I've got the wrong glasses on here. I should be using my magnified ones. Let's try it again. Oh, that's done it that time. I can see it now. It's done it. So I've just soldered that one onto there like so. So now I need to flip it. See, it's attached. It's attached. Very good, you got it. So now I need to get that onto the other side. Now, I don't know if you say that, it didn't really. I can't believe it's actually lighting up as I touch it. I need to get that onto the other end. I've made my wire too flipping short, haven't I? Oh dear, what am I like? So, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to grab a knife. Oh, this one. There we are. And I'm going to slice it down here. Hopefully not into my finger. Although it wouldn't be the first time. So hopefully we can bring that down there. Of course, a thick old insulation on there. There's no... it's not a very good cable though, because there's no screening at all. Now, a good cable will have screening, so there'll be like a screen layer, basically any RF interference would be inhibited. But there isn't on this one. So now it should reach. Just. It might be a good idea that I actually unplug it. Right. So what I'm going to do now is try and manipulate that to where I want it to be. Still not really enough room. It's such a thin cable. If I try and tug that through there too ferociously, I'll just break. Because it's only thin. There you go. That's better. I don't want to be under strain, do I? So now what we'll do now is manipulate that round onto there and solder it on. Okay, so I'm going to help it a little bit by tinning the end here. That's it. And then what we're going to do is bring that onto that. Hopefully, there you go. I think that'll do. So now if I plug it in again, it should work. Yeah. So effectively, if I actually just used one light, that's 3 volts, and put 5 volts for it, that'll blow, won't it? You know. So what I've done is I've increased its demand to between sort of 5 and 6 volts because I've put them in series, so that it'd be positive, negative, positive, negative. If it was in parallel, the two positives would be together, and effectively you'll just end up blowing it again because it'll still be running on around. These will still be about 3 volts. You'll still be trying to put 5 volts for it, but in series you're reducing the voltage. The only downside is if one of these below, the likelihood is the other one won't work. So having it in series, a bit like your Christmas tree lights, you know. All right, so we've got that unit there, and we've got this here. Let's bring this back over. Okay. There is this gasket thing here. I'll put it back on because it's part of it, but I don't really need it. For obvious reasons, because it's not actually going to be outside. No. It's going to be inside. So I want to think what side. Well, it can go either way, that can. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my glue gun, hot melt glue gun. Okay, this one is by Bion, and it's an 8 volt with a USB-C, but it requires a 9 volt input to charge it, so I've marked it. But it's actually a really good little tool. I'm really pleased with it. Grab a gold one? No, I don't want gold. I'll get a black one. That's what I've already got in there. Black's a very useful colour in the glue gun. Me. Alright, so anyway, it's heated up, so both lights are on. It's actually green, but it looks like white, doesn't it? And we'll just glue that down there, alright? Now I don't want this to tug, so let's move that away from that. I don't want that to tug on anything, so what we'll do is we'll make sure there's enough cable in here as to create creates tension. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down the actual cable. Well, you could use tie wraps if you want, but you know, why not use a glue gun? If it works. Hot splodge. Try to burn yourself. Okay. A bit around here as well, because then that'll stop it from being be pulled through. It shouldn't be a problem, but you know, that'll cool down. That'll hold that into place. Not yet. Cold. I like cold. Right, there you go. Nearly there. It's starting to stiffen up, see? I'm not editing this video, so I'm sorry if it's a bit long. But, you know, it's just a bit of fun in it. That's all it is. So that is now into position there. Just about. No, still a bit... Still, God, this is quite... hot melt glue. It doesn't cool down very quickly, which is quite good actually in many ways, because otherwise it'd be a bit of a rush, wouldn't it? Alright, I'm going to stick the 2 lights down to where I want them to be. You could also use this stuff as insulation. I'm not going to, just in case I ever want to replace the bulb, because that'd be a bloody nightmare. And there's nothing going to touch it anyway, so I just glued them down and almost to myself. Isn't perfectly centre, but it doesn't matter. Alright, so far so good. Let's put the gasket back on so I don't lose it. And like I say, when it comes to mounting this thing, I'm going to have to take the cover off again anyway. Because it's the screw mount, yeah, the holes just to mount it are behind the cover. I'm not worried about that. But that'll look pretty cool. And that is going to be mounted. Why isn't it going down? Because of screws. Oh, I see. So that screw there, let's just wind that on it. Wind that one in. That one's in. Let's wind that one in. That's it, it's on. There you go. we now have a USB powered LED light. It's amazing what you're doing. These things here, I bought these LEDs from Temo. They're like 150 for about 50 of them. Ridiculously cheap. And these are little 3-volt LEDs. Now, you've got a couple of options. You can do what I did and put 2 in series. Or you could reduce the voltage if you are going to be powering via USB. You could reduce the voltage by using a resistor, such as one of these little things, okay? And you can work out your ohmage resistance, what is required to bring the voltage down to the 3 volts from the 5 volts. But I'll put an extra bulb in there. That's just an extra LED like mitten diode in there. There you go. It's fun. And that is going to be mounted on the wall on that side. Over there somewhere, right? So just going to be mounted up there. There's just enough light to show a bit of accent in the background. I'm not trying to flood it with loads of different coloured lights, but it's just a bit of random shit going on, as you can probably see. Yeah, in the day, I've got flux capacitor as well, so you could say I could probably do something better with this flip microphone stand. Maybe that's another project. Right, anyway. I might have a little light. What a bloody kid on that. What a big job. What a big kid. Don't tell the missus what I've been doing, will you? No, please don't. Anyway, please boot the old like button and maybe subscribe to the channel. And and I'll upload some more random shit. Don't forget the old bell icon, because then you get a warm fuzzy feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video. Toodaloo.